think, too, it's a way of breaking preconceived notions. Humans tend to get stuck in their habits, and there's a way of doing things, and it's been done this way for decades, and that's just the way we keep on doing things. And what reinforcement learning allows you to do is experiment based on the outcome that you desire, and you never know what the AI might find. It might approach a problem in a totally different way than the traditional way, and that could have major implications. You have a great example about using that for heating and cooling design of buildings, and because of the simulations run using reinforcement learning, all of a sudden, the traditional way of laying out the construction from a heating and cooling perspective gets altered because, well, just the way that we've been doing it isn't necessarily the best way, and that was proven using a very similar model and the same philosophy behind the model to what we're seeing from these DeepRacer cars and the machine learning models in play here.
Absolutely. If you're doing it the same way you've always done it, you'll get the same results you've always had. And this idea of using machine learning to change the conversation, to bring things around, that's what's exciting. And right now on the track, we have LeadingAI. Oh my goodness! Oh! Oh! Oh!
That is a new world record, Blaine. Our first ever sub 8-second lap at 7.3931. Holy smokes, that blows the previous record out of the water. It went faster again.
I was going to comment on Thomas Joseph, where can we place side bets? And I was going to say that, unfortunately, we don't have one. But if I was betting, I might put one on this racer. That's what I was about to say. I didn't have time for those words to get out of my mouth because,
LeadingAI from Canada, the first ever sub 8-second lap in competition. And look, resetting best sectors as well. It just went faster. How about 7.734?
I'm not seeing this. Are you seeing this? Because clearly something's wrong on my screen. We didn't think it was really physically possible maybe to break that 8-second. We are now a quarter of a second past that 8-second sound barrier.
Yeah, that is the thing that's amazing. Not that it's been done to get under 8 seconds, but it's been done by this much. This is now the world record holder by a half a second, Blaine.
LeadingAI, we have seen this competitor representing Canada more than once in our finals that we've been having in the virtual competition. LeadingAI has always been competitive, but this track plays to their strengths. And more time still, we are now at 7 2/3.
Holy smokes, 7.665. LeadingAI certainly leading the way at this point. This is the champion, by the way, from the Toronto Summit back about a couple months ago at this point, and won that by a fairly handy margin. In the real world, LeadingAI's model did a 12.7-second lap on a track very similar, or really identical just in the physical world, to the one you're seeing represented here. But here, virtually, a new world record by over half a second now. 7.665, absolutely outstanding.
Welcome, everybody in chat. Welcome, Deeper. 7.525. I mean, at this point, mathematically, Jarek says that the theory, if you are at maximum velocity and perfect line, supposedly 7.24, the mathematicians say, is the fastest that is just mathematically possible. And because this is a real simulation, you can never reach that perfect optimal. You reach that convergence line, but it's 7.525. I mean, I'm speechless. Welcome to AWS DeepRacer.
Well, and here's the thing. It's not just that it's done it, but it's been so consistent, too. Only 3 resets across 3 minutes going at that speed. And you can see there is some slide in the car. It is not totally stable, but it is comfortable enough with that slide that it actually is using it, I think, to help make the corners that little bit quicker, to get that rear to rotate and point you the right direction at a quicker rate. Just remarkable stuff from LeadingAI. The best time we have ever seen in competition on this virtual track, 7.5 seconds. Unbelievable.
We got Debro in chat who is claiming the world record is 9.7 seconds. And,
It was.
And Debro, okay, maybe, but I'm sorry, I'm seeing 7.525 right now. Someone's got to go back into the shop and do some more training, and the answer is it's you.
Well, to Debro's credit, he did have the world record on the physical track, and that was in that 9.5 second range. I think he had it at 9.7 for a time, and it has since been lowered to 9.5. So it's not, even though this track is as close to the real thing as you can model virtually, there still is that little bit of difference. And frankly, we expect the speeds to be a little bit quicker here virtually than what we see racing physically. There are fewer variables effectively here on the virtual track. But what a remarkable run from LeadingAI. 7.5, Blaine. I thought we could see a 7.9, maybe a 7.8, but this is well clear of that. And I think now we've got our chance to speak to Jacky, who is LeadingAI. LeadingAI, our top developer at this stage. I am so excited to get the reaction to this one. Jacky, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations. What a phenomenal lap.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for talking. I didn't expect to that, but I try my best. Yeah.
Well, you certainly did. What did you expect, if not that? What did you think was possible?
I asked my son, he's in high school senior. I asked, Daddy's going to be in the number one, AI race in the world. How can you guess Daddy can be? Is it maybe, how many races? Is it 8, maybe 15? He said, maybe you're number 8. So I'm expecting number 8.
Well, you're going to have something to tell him about, because not just are you the fastest here in this regional final, but at 7.5 seconds, Jacky, that is the fastest time we have seen on this track, and by a wide margin. Tell us a little bit about your philosophy, how you developed this model, and where you thought it was so successful today.
Yeah, number one, I really appreciate Amazon and all the team, working on this lead. It's so exciting to be part of this. And I've been trying to change the model quite a bit and get a lot of help from my coach. We have some very excellent, volunteer coach in LeadingAI. That's the name. I'm one of the coach. Yeah, and also JJ, he did provide a lot of insight when he and I talk. He's also an advisor, and also my student happened to be in the race as well. Like Nathan, he also get into the finale. Yeah.
Okay, really good to know. And you and JJ, you're both from Canada. You were the winner in the Toronto Summit. Tell us about the difference between racing in person at the summit and racing virtually like we are today.
Yeah, in the physical race, actually it's more harder because there are a lot of factor, right? Because when you manually click the physical button, right, the tablet, right, there's this delay between your click and the action. In the virtual race, I did not expect that it's running even without any distraction, right? It looks like you design a very good simulator. That's the difference. Yeah.
Okay. The most important question might be, can you go faster in round 2?
I don't know. I'm just trying my model. It's really hard to train a good model. I tried different way, but so far it looks like this is a good one. Yeah.
I would say so. Are you going to change it up, or are you going to use the same model again in round 2?
I'm thinking to try. This is so far the best model I have, but there's another model is more stable, but this one's more risky. So that right, you always say and try different options. So I don't know. Let me think. Yeah, but I really appreciate the opportunity. Yeah.
Okay, excited to see that. And if this time does hold up, and you end up with one of those spots for reInvent to compete in Las Vegas, how confident are you in your physical world model that you'll be able to compete with the best of the best for the DeepRacer Championship this year?
Yeah, I'll sure try my best. The most fun I enjoy here is with so many good IT professional and developer, and some of them are students, in college and even high school. I really enjoy the lead and also the community helping me, do better every time. Yeah, I'll try my best for sure.
Thank you very much, Jacky. Thank you. Really appreciate the time and your insight. Congratulations on a great first round and the new world record. We wish you the best of luck in round number 2.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. That is Jacky Chen, LeadingAI, the fastest developer on this track that we have seen all season long. Just remarkable stuff, and great humility as well. I'm interested in that decision-making process as we watch Paradisi here with a really nice lap. Just jumped up into third, in fact, at 9.5. We saw D-Dog's Ian, by the way, who was provisionally fifth. This will bump him down to sixth. But Paradisi very strong here so far. But interesting to hear about, well, I do have another model, and there's a chance we could see something different out of LeadingAI in round 2.
Well, it was a 7.525 sitting in the clubhouse. And looking at the times that people are right now, LeadingAI really, I mean, you hate to say it, can start looking forward to Las Vegas. I mean, you always hate to look too far in the future too quickly, but experimenting with another model live on the track may not be a bad idea. Meanwhile, Paradisi absolutely picking up the velocity there, 9.138, almost up to Roger Rabbit's time, but surprisingly, still nobody else has gotten below that 9-second barrier, has gotten into the 8-second marks.
And that's worth noting because this is our final developer for round 1. Paradisi was the fastest qualifier to make it here, qualified with a time of 10.1 seconds at the New York Summit. So that was among the fastest laps we saw at any North American summit. I know JJ had a couple quicker laps, including there in New York, where he was sub 10 seconds. But again, JJ was already qualified, so that's why we don't see JJ in this regional final. So Paradisi certainly showing that this model, whether it's the same or it's a slight variation, can be strong both racing in the real world as well here as virtually. This is a good run.
I want to jump back to the interview there with Jacky, with LeadingAI, calling out at the end a lot of the students that are part of the AWS DeepRacer community. And the AWS DeepRacer Student League is really one of the great success stories. We've been giving away scholarships and free training credits to students, high school students, college students, university students around the world to give them a chance to get hands-on in this machine learning environment. And in fact, this year alone, over 20,000 students from around the world competed in DeepRacer, with AWS picking up all the cost for their training, 10 hours a month of training, if I've got that stat correct. And we've announced that we're going to be doing it again next year. So if you want to know more about the Student League, Rensburf has already posted there in chat how you can be part of the Student League. So if you're just learning, again, if you're in high school, if you're in college, university, we want you playing, and we're going to help pick up the tab for it.
Definitely, and great opportunities to win scholarships as part of that Student League. We saw the Student League finale just last week, and it was really tightly contested. The top 3 from that moved on, and we'll see them at reInvent as well. Plus, of course, handed out some big scholarship prize money, too, to the top 6 from that Student League finale. So really exciting stuff that AWS is pushing with that Student League, and can't wait to see how well those students do in Las Vegas. I expect we're going to see some big things out of them.
Absolutely. Well, that brings us to the end of Paradisi's run, 9.138. And if I'm correct, that is the end of round 1. We have come to every competitor. They've had a chance to go through there. And now all of our competitors, including LeadingAI with a new world record, going to go back to the garage and try to find, is there a different model they can choose from? Paradisi, Roger Rabbit are inside the bubble, but just by a fraction of a second. Neither of them are below 9 seconds, which we have seen is the target for competitive groups like this.
You're going to need to be there. You're going to need to basically be sub 9, I think, to break in to the top 3 after round 2. I expect we're going to see some improvement from a couple of those that are right there on the cusp or just barely in. LeadingAI is the only one that should feel any amount of comfort at this point, and if only because that was a world record by a healthy margin there in round number 1. But I think the positions 2 and 3 are very much up for grabs heading into round 2.